my kids as one of the very greatest victories ever in the history of Michigan softball. You agree, Bob? But, you know, hats off to Paige Lowry and Missouri. And, you know, they were on their game today. I'm sure everybody feels the same way. That's, you don't want to get to that game 3 and they're feeling good and we're have 30 minutes to recover and be in the loser's bracket. They had 24 hours to get used to it. But I can't say enough about the gutsy performance of Megan Betza and her guts, along with all of her teammates. I told them their hearts are so blue, and the reason we're still playing is because of their heart. And whether we won that game or lost that game, or won this tournament or lost this tournament, I would have loved it no matter what. Because these kids give us all they can every year. And this Team 39 has fought really hard, and usually they fight themselves first. They've had high expectations all year and had to work through the burden of it. And I'm looking forward to getting to Oklahoma City so we can finally just enjoy playing. But I'm so proud. I haven't cried since like this after a win since we won the national championship. So I couldn't be prouder.
Gary, you talked about yesterday about the importance of fight, and I think that was everybody who was in here talking with you yesterday thought of that. You know, the fight is what's the most important thing, and that really came out in the 7th. Talk about how they came through for you in that way.
We're still playing, Steve. They came through. They fought and they fought and they fought. And that was my pregame message to them: is fight is it's not really boxing gloves. We weren't going to put on boxing gloves and go on that field. Fight is a mentality. It's a mentality, and they had to fight through that. And they just came out and attacked. They attacked Lowry, and we'd been trying to get them to do that all game, and they were able to do it with their backs against the wall because they weren't tight anymore. They were fighting for each other.
Can you talk about the decision-making process between taking Megan out and then putting her back in?
Yeah, well, you know, Megan was struggling a little bit. Her back was bothering her a little bit. And it's just, at this point of the day, I'm operating with my gut. And my gut was we needed some ground balls, and we're going to try to get a double play. And it worked with the first pitch, and the second one wasn't a very good ground ball as it went over the fence. And then when Sarah came back out in that inning, and I debated at that point to put Megan back in. And as a staff, we decided Sarah would be better in the second inning when she hit the first batter. I knew she was, hadn't recovered. And I went out to the mound, and I came back and decided that we were going to go with Megan.
After you batted, or before you batted in the 7th, you brought the team together, and you seemed pretty animated. What was your message to the team? You were down at that stage.
That we need to start fighting now for the rest of the day. And at that point, I'm trying to get them to get over being disappointed and thinking we're going to lose the game, and we just need to start playing because we need to start having better fight. And you know, we were just trying to get them going. You know, I thinking it could very, very likely be another game.
Once the 7th inning started with Pop-Up reaching on that, what were you thinking after that point?
Well, after I hit it, I was pretty disappointed because I thought it was a pitch that I could have done something better with. But you have to run it out because you don't know what's going to happen. Clearly, it ended up falling in, and I was just thinking that running down just gets first base, like run it out. That's what we practice in practice every day. You don't know what's going to happen, and luckily I did run it out. I didn't put my head down. I didn't sulk and walk off the field. I ran to first base. She dropped it, and yeah.
Kelsey, talk about your big hit.
Well, obviously I've been kind of struggling a little bit at the plate, but my teammates and my coaches have just been so supportive for me over the weekend, and I just had a feeling that at bat, I just had a feeling that something was going to come my way if I just keep swinging, so that's what I did.
Where does that feeling come from? Is it what you talk about before the 7th inning? Is it just something that's kind of in you anyway? And
I think just like with the situation, like even how Monty's ball just fell, and like we had some things go our way that inning, and I just like that inning was just really special to us, and I could just like feel that we were like our momentum was catching up, and
it seemed like Coach was coaching you in the middle of that at bat. She told you something right before that swing. Was it a technique thing, or?
Yeah, probably to stay in my legs and stay low and slam my backside and my front side, but yeah, it worked out.
Megan, can you talk about what you had to fight through with the back thing, and also what your coach said about being tight from expectations all year long? Have you guys felt that, and now do you feel a release?
Well, the back thing was something that it hasn't been there all season. It was there at the beginning of the season, and it hindered me from pitching a little bit early on. And it just came back yesterday. I was pitching in a hole and just jamming into that part of my body. It just was very uncomfortable. And I just had to work through that today. And our trainer Brian did an awesome job at making sure that I had whatever I needed. And then, yeah, the expectations thing has been a thing that we've fought with all year, especially myself. Just making sure that we're staying in our process and we know we're not entitled to anything. You know, we have to work hard for everything that we're doing, and that's what the coaches instill in us every day at practice.
Why did you have to fight through it? You heard so many people saying you guys had to get back and win, or what?
Yeah, I mean, just coming up short, everyone's just like, okay, you get another chance this year. You're going to be back. You're going to be there. Don't worry. And it's just kind of like that entitlement thing. Like, we're not entitled to anything. We have to work just as hard as every other team in the country to be as good as we are. It doesn't just come our way.
Megan, when you guys saw Florida go down, the team that you thought maybe you'd face again in Oklahoma City, what did that mean to you, and how did that affect the team?
It kind of just let us know that everyone's playing really good softball now. It doesn't matter what you're ranked. Everyone's coming out, and we have a target on our back because we're Michigan and we're ranked number 2, and everyone wants to beat us, and we have to play good softball right now.
And describe the fight that your team had and throughout the game, but particularly in that 7th inning. You're watching it and waiting to get back out there.
Well, I was actually in the cold tub in the locker room watching on the TV, and she told me I wasn't going back in unless the game got tied. So as soon as we scored that run, I jumped out of the cold tub and put my clothes on and ran back out on the field. But you can never count this team out. You know, I talk all the time about trust, and you know that inning we had to have some big trust in the next person and the next person and the next person to just get it done. And you know, we played great as a team.
Did you literally hop out of the tub right after it was tied?
Yes, they scored the run, and I was in the locker room, and Emily came in, and she was like, "Hey, they need you on the field." You know.
But you've had other big victories. Why this one did you start crying?
I just think I'm getting old and I'm getting more emotional. I mean, I think I just was really proud of them. I mean, that's a tough scenario. And that's a really good team we're facing, and they were sensing it. And I'm just really happy for them. It's really special to go to the World Series, and for all those people out there that think that we're supposed to go, if it was so easy, everybody would go. And it's really hard to do. It's hard to win a Super Regional. It's hard to beat a really good team twice. And it would have been hard for them to beat us twice, but it's really hard to get your team up when you lose a really tough ball game and you have 30 minutes to recover. And they just really believe in each other, and they make Michigan so proud. They represent this university every day better than anybody, and they don't take it for granted. And at the end of the day, that's really what I'm proud of.